Hey guys, it's Sim, and today I have a pick a card reading for you. The topic is going to be what big changes you have to look forward to and what your guides want you to know about these changes. So I would like you to take a moment, take a deep breath in and out, and then take another breath. Breathe everything out for as long as you can so you can't blow out anymore. Then when you take your recovery breath after, because you'll have to, then focus back on the cards, on the piles, and then wherever your attention goes to, that's going to be your pile. It's also possible that you'll be drawn to more than one. Just depends on the person. If you are, then be sure to watch every pile that you're drawn to. And I'm really excited to get started with this. I'm so eager to share this news with you. So let's get started. We're going to start with pile 1, then pile 2, 3, and then 4. Again, so take a minute and I will see you in your pile. Hello, my pile ones. So we have two crystals here that I'll go over in a second. We have two of the Thoth deck cards, and then we have the Rider-Waite here. Let's start with the Rider-Waite to see what big changes you have to look forward to, my pile ones. So first we have the Fool. Okay, that's interesting. Definitely a new journey for you. Page of Wands. You might be experiencing a little bit of, I don't know, I want to say lackluster, unmotivated in some sense, particularly probably towards school or your job. Oh, this is nice. So you might be mastering your craft right now. That's really interesting. Okay, and then you might have a choice that's coming up. Okay, interesting. So let me take a look at all this. So I definitely see a adventure coming for you. I feel like you might have been recently in a phase of feeling a little unmotivated, maybe a little hopeless in some sense. Maybe things aren't changing quick enough for you. You're not seeing the progress that you wanted to see. But I feel like you have definitely been trying to master your craft. And I see here, usually with the Eight of Pentacles, you will always see the completion in the like wealth and happiness coming from this, because this is a sign that you're moving towards the 9 and the 10, which would be the cycle, end of the cycle, the completion of whatever it is you're going through right now in mastering your craft. And then the Two of Pentacles is usually a choice that you have to make, balancing something. You might feel like you're having to balance people, a situation at your job, school. With the Earth Pentacles, we want to say it's something, physical, but it could also be different situations. It could be things that relate to your employment. It could be things that relate to relationships with people that you work with or your school. It could be a lot of things, but I feel like you have recently, or you will soon, have to make a decision that's going to determine what happens from here out. And the High Priestess in reverse usually refers to some sort of blockage. If you have not been trusting your intuition, or just kind of in the kind of autopilot mode where you're going and going and going, you're not giving yourself a lot of time to reflect, relax, get a new perspective on things. And so right now you might have been just kind of, you're being reminded to stop and try to focus and try to get back into that intuitive state that I feel like pile one you usually have. And then here with the Six of Wands is saying that you have something very rewarding to look forward to. You have something that is going to give you some recognition, something that's going to come into your life that is going to pay off. But I feel like you do need to get a new perspective before that can happen. I'm seeing here that there's just been some stagnant things for you, pile one. I feel like there are so many avenues that you could take, and I feel like you're being pulled in different directions and you're not sure what to do. And your guides, your higher source, whatever you want to call it, that you're being reminded to go within. because you have that ability to go within, and you might have been kind of putting things off to the side. I know that sometimes we get busy in day-to-day life and we forget to take a moment and reflect, focus on what messages we're getting in our dreams, focus on, you know, parts of life that feed the spiritual, not just the physical. And I see a lot of physical here, but I also see the fiery creativity. So I feel like with the Six of Wands, something of your creativity is going to pay off. So maybe here this has been the issue that you're having with your inspiration or your drive, but you're being motivated to and reminded that if you get back into that clarity that you've had before, Pile One, something is gonna pay off. But a new perspective needs to happen. I feel like that's what I see for you. I feel like that's definitely gonna be the next thing for you. So I feel like you have a lot of good stuff coming your way. It's just you're being pushed so much to go back and look, rethink things, maybe do like a dream diary. I don't know. Maybe meditate. Maybe you're good at drawing, coloring, stuff like that. I have a friend that really likes to color, and she says she gets a lot of motivation from that. So if that's something you're interested in, taking a yoga class, I don't know. I feel like there's just something that you normally do that you haven't been doing when it comes to kind of aligning yourself, aligning your inner being. You're being reminded to focus and get back into that. It's very interesting. So I feel like you've got a lot of good stuff coming your way, especially on the physical, earthly pentacles side. So it's like you've got some money coming in, you've got some fortune coming in for sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, so with the crystals, we're gonna do what your guides want you to know now. I'm gonna put these just right here. So what do your guides want you to know, Pile One? Okay, so this is the Thoth tarot deck. It's the Crowley deck. So we have 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have Fortune. Okay. So, I mean, so we tapped into the fortune for sure, and the wealth. Okay, so I'm definitely getting here that you are being reminded once again. This is like confirmation of what I said. You've got to do some digging and to realign yourself, and you're being directed to look back on what's worked for you in the past, because I feel like you're moved away from that. What's interesting as well is on the tree, the Hangman is tied into this one. Like they're right. That's the path for it. So that's very interesting. It's very interesting that's popping up. It's like saying that is your path to this, to get the higher polarity of this, because right now it's in the lower polarity. But the Hangman is the path to this. So it's very interesting that we're getting that here, because that's also just more clarifying that that's what you need to do. The 10, I'm sorry, the 10, well, it is the 10. The Fortune card is obviously big change is coming, right? It's a time to celebrate, because you've got some really good things coming your way, but you've got to figure out what worked for you in the past and reestablish that confidently, right? I feel like it's really important that we see here that all of this, everything right now that is in the lower polarity, or what you would call reverse, is things that revolve around intuition and not only filling the earthly needs and desires, but also the spiritual desires. So things that not only feed your tummy, but they feed your spirit too. So I think that it's really interesting that we're seeing so much of that here. It's like, if you get back aligned, Pile One, where you were before, you're gonna make some serious money, like serious money, because this can be then shift to the higher polarity, and then it's wealth. But right now it's in the lower, because you've done something different, or you've just kind of gone on autopilot and put something to the side that was really working for you in the past. So let's look at the Starseed Oracle here to see what else your guides want to know, and then we can go over the crystals too. Here, you know what? Let me just leave that off. All right, so what other things do the one's guides want them to know? What do they want them to know? It's crazy the similarities that we're seeing here. Okay, see, so first, look at these two, but look. So the first we have the blue flame, which is spontaneous awakening, activation, integration, and its time. So the timing is now. The timing to get back realigned and get everything going for you and moving for you is now. And it's gonna take a lot, I feel like, but I feel like you have it in you because you know exactly, as I'm saying this, what it is that you need to get back into that's gonna motivate you and push you forward. We can also see a little bit more information about this one. The only thing I don't like about this is that they do not, it's kind of in alphabetical order, but it's a little weird. Okay, so the blue flame, page 40. So it says here, this is the card of awakening and energetic upgrades. Perhaps you're going through a period of spontaneous awakening, receiving visions and having experiences that are out of the ordinary. Little is known about the process of spontaneous awakening, and it can feel very scary when we're going through it. So I feel like you're definitely receiving messages in your dreams, and maybe like things that are popping to your head during the day. Maybe you have a little bit of some kind of abilities or something, but you're ignoring them. You're ignoring them for some reason. Like you're just saying, oh, I'll deal with that later. Definitely. I feel like this is a good sign that the purpose that you're having to align with right now and get yourself centered with, it's going to make you money. It's going to make you happy, but you've got to do what you've always done in the past, and you can't push those feelings aside. You know, sometimes we have to be reminded that we have to work on ourselves internally. We can take just kind of push that to the side for a while, but we can't do that forever. So let's see what else it says. So it says that a good prayer for you would be, I allow myself to surrender to the awakening. I allow myself to surrender to the awakening process that's right for me. I take things slowly and integrate my experience each and every day. It's really beautiful. Okay, I think that really describes what you're going through right now, pile one. Honestly, I feel like that is exactly what's happening for you. Okay, look, here we go. Your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Let's see. I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps when I saw that. Okay, so let's see. Your life is a canvas. It's page 134. Very last one. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it says, you're the artist of your life, and your life is a canvas. Take responsibility for your ability to create. Earth is known as a planet of manifestation. Your present moment is based on your past thoughts and beliefs. Your current thoughts determine your future. What kind of life do you want to create for the future? What are you being called to create? Reconnect with your manifesting power and align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the vibration that matches them. It's never too late to start, and no experience is required. All you need is an open heart, open mind, and consistent daily action. So I feel like you're being reminded here to continue with you might have been practicing law of attraction techniques recently, and that's kind of what your guides are digging at you for here. Maybe you were listening to certain meditations or affirmations or doing some scripting. I feel like that's what you're being reminded to tap into again, because you might be leaning on focusing more on the lack of instead of the gratitude for what you have presently, and expanding on that so you can get more and more and more. So I feel like that is definitely what's happening here. So if that's true, maybe you need to go back to whatever it is you were doing in the past. Like, I know sometimes I enjoy going back and looking at like Dr. Joe Dispenza or some of the Abraham teachings, things like that, to kind of snap me out of it a little bit and get me back into focusing on on my inner being, not just what's going on outside. So it also says this card is inviting you to see your entire life as a canvas, and the picture is completely up to you. Color it with your thoughts and feelings. Create the life that you most long to live. You may also be called to be more creative in your everyday life. What have you been called to create? How can you express yourself? So I think this is great for you because it represents so much of whatever it is you're doing. I think it's awesome. I feel like whatever it is that you're tapping into, you're able to use it in the way that makes you you know, money. And I feel like you've been stagnant lately. You've had like less drive or felt a little unmotivated. That could also be with some of the planetary influences right now too. I know that recently we had like Mercury in retrograde. I'm not sure. I think some stuff's in retrograde right now too. And usually, not always, but sometimes that just kind of leaves us all feeling like, meh. So let's see what we have here for this here. Your crystals. So if you chose pile 1, you chose the Rainbow Mayanite, which is chakra alignment, foundation, and karma. Again, your fortune is going to be based on your foundation, and you are being like so directed to this right now. This is like the strongest message I can give you. I don't know how to emphasize it enough. So this is, it allows you to face any challenging karmic patterns and pull out of the drudgery of the past that is ingrained in the energetic body. It heals emotional traumas on every level, rebuilding the foundation for a healthy support system from the inside out and connecting you to a spiritual team. This crystal guide can guide you in seeing multiple perspectives, offering many solutions, existing in ultimate alignment with all the chakras. Rainbow Mayanite helps you step into your authentic truth. And it is for Leo, Virgo, Libra, Sun, and Pluto, but it's interesting there. So this is kind of like saying you've got to align yourself, and it also includes the, you know, your guides in here. So it's like it rebuilds the foundation for a healthy support system from the inside out, connecting you to your spiritual team. And that is what you're being pushed to do. And you're going to see big changes, big changes if you can do that. Let's see. And then we also have green adventurine. And this is for prosperity, fortune, interesting, and opportunity. This is known as the good luck stone. Or the stone of opportunity. Adventurine is used to attract abundance into your life. It propels growth, not just physically, but also personally, presenting learning opportunities for your soul's evolution. Adventurine also aligns situations so opportunities appear. So it's a stabilizing force, and it balances male and female energy to bring a soothing harmony between yin and yang. Adventurine can also attract love, complementing the heart chakra and resolving lingering emotional issues. Aries and Mercury. Very interesting. So I think that was a great reading for you, pile 1. I pretty much laid it out what I think the best thing for you to do is. So stick around if you also were drawn to another pile. We're going to move on to pile 2 right now. Bye. Hello, my pile 2s. I have everything ready for you, so let's get to it. Okay, we're going to start with the Rider-Waite-Smith, and we're going to see what big changes that you have to look forward to, my lovely pile 2s. Okay, we have the Two of Swords, Death in Reverse, the Chariot. Okay, off the bat, I'm getting that you're definitely going to have to make a decision. I see that you've been feeling very stagnant. You're being drained of your hope, but it's time to make a change, and it's time to get moving now. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, Temperance in reverse. Again, I'm seeing the loss of drive. Oh, pile 2, you've been through it, haven't you? So I'm seeing a lot of stagnation here. You're ready for a change, I can tell. Yes, you're definitely ready for a change here. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. That is it can be physically feeling like you're in a sense of poverty or not having enough money, but it can also relate to the mindset of not having enough, as well. In my experience, some people would say different because it's a earth sign, but I feel like when it comes to manifestation, it's definitely about what you're feeling in order to create what you need. So if they don't agree, but I don't care. Okay, so all right, so we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, you're powerful. All right, you, whatever it is you're going through, you have the power to get through, my pile two. You definitely are powerful. The Queen of Wands is my favorite personality card in the Rider-Waite. She's badass. She's Sagittarius. She's awesome. She's powerful. She has every ability that she needs. And as you can see, she's kind of looking straight on at you, kind of over to the right, which would be like your future, in my mind. So, and then also, okay, yeah, okay, well, so it's time for some freedoms. It's time to change something. You've got to make a big decision. I feel like you might have been masking some of your feelings. I feel like you might be trying to please other people, and it's not helping you. It's not getting anywhere with you. So it's like you're trying to be a good person, you're trying to do the right thing, Paul, too, but you're noticing that even when you do so, nothing's coming out of it. I see the stagnation, I see the lack of motivation, but I see the willingness to want to move forward, the strategic thinking, the planning. I feel like you get somewhere and then you fall back down, pile two. And it's affecting a lot of your life. The mindset of it is affecting so much of you, so you're so ready for change, and it's absolutely possible. Whatever it is that you're trying to work past, you have the ability to do so, pile two. Like I said, this is the one of the best personality cards, is the best personality cards in my mind. Some people like the Queen of Wands, but I'm sorry, the Queen of Cups. I prefer this one. The fire, the energy, the trusting your creativity and intuition, or intuition would be Cups, but still, she's powerful. She's one of the most powerful signs. So I feel like here it's more about getting your freedom. Whenever you utilize the tools that you have to get out of this rut or get away from whatever it is that you've been using to kind of mask what's going on inside you, it's like you're finally going to be able to say no and move forward. It won't be like you're pushing these wands uphill anymore. They're just going to fall down and you can be done with them in that instance. I see some fear. I feel like I feel so much fear. I don't know. I just really feel like you've been through it, pal two. I'm really picking up on a few things here. It's kind of powerful. So, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit because it's very emotional. I feel like you definitely have something that's going on internally, that you're trying to mask or try to make better so that you can get through everything. But in doing so, you're turning off your intuition, you're turning off the abilities that you have, and that's only making you feel less happy and motivated. I feel like you have a purpose and you've done what you've been doing long enough. You're being reminded it's time to move forward and say no and move past whatever it is that's keeping you. And I feel like you know exactly what it is. I feel like you know exactly whatever it is that is making you, that's kind of holding you back. And you're kind of putting it off, but I feel like your guides, your spiritual team, they want you to know it's time. It's time to make some strategic moves to get past these lower polarity feelings here, because you can and you will. It's very interesting. Okay, let's see what we have for the let's see what we have for the deck here, the Crowley deck. I'm gonna put these up here. make some room for these. So we have the Sun in the lower polarity, and then we have the Two of Cups in the higher. So again, I'm sensing this very unhappiness. But the Sun is there to remind you that changes are coming, right? And the Two of Cups, this could be related to a relationship that you're manifesting, but it could also be related to your own self-love. I feel like here we're seeing, this card is so funny to me. It looks like a butthole. Anyway, but I feel like you're definitely seeing signs that you can tap back into this and have this wonderful magnetic feeling, and you have much to look forward to because you are so powerful and you can manifest the things that you want. This could be love. It could be Cancer, a Cancer sign, but I feel like it's more self-love. For those of you that may already be in a relationship or, you know, exiting out of one, I don't know, but I feel like this could be self-love too. And that is how you manifest love anyway, right? You have to get to a phase where you love yourself in order to create the things that you want for yourself. If you're focusing on the lack of not having something, you're creating more of the not, whatever it is you don't have, right? So let's see what I'm going to go on here and look at the Crowley notes right here. So give me a second. Okay, so yeah, you definitely have a drive here to create good and manifest wonderful things with the Sun in reverse. I feel like you're finding it really hard to see the path ahead and a current resolution because the situation that you're in is very difficult, but it's important to see that this situation won't last, and the Sun is going to be here to remind you that it's not going to last, right? And that things are going to get better. The sun will shine again. That's what I'm getting. The sun will shine again for you, pile 2. And then the Two of Cups in the higher polarity is about it can be a harmony, balance relationship within yourself. It could also be marriage. It could be a new relationship, but it can also be a close friendship, partnership. I think you're being also reminded that you need to connect with your inner spirit. That is where your true love lies. Right now, Pal 2, your true love should be yourself, basically. That's going to be your universal love. That's going to be how you reach enlightenment and how you raise through the ranks. So I feel like this is very important for you right now to know that you do have something to look forward to. I feel like it's been very hard for you lately, and this just shows me though that you have so much coming, because once this is in the higher polarity, which everything that's in the lower can go to the higher polarity, that's why it's there. So you're being reminded to look forward to the shiny butthole. No, I'm just kidding. You're being reminded to look forward to the sun, the morning, the new day, the bright, the dawn. So let me look here and see what we have for the oracle cards. Put this right here for now. Oh, see that? Look at that. It's just perfect. Your Queen of Wands. That's just perfect. It's in reverse. We can put it in higher polarity because you have the power to do so. We know that, don't we? Okay. So let's see what your spirit guides want you to know, pile 2. If there's any additional thing that they'd like. Oh my god, I keep burping that energy drink. If there's any thing that they would like to remind you of, to make you aware. Okay. Wow. And interesting that both these fell. Okay, so we have the first one that fell is Messenger. And it says bringing harmony and balance, serious energy. So again, we're getting here that you need to get back into that state of balance, which you have the capability of doing. And this is just reaffirming that your spirit guides are just saying they don't need to know anything else but this right now. So it's like, this is what you need to focus on in order to have the change that you have on your purpose path, right? So here we have also lifting the veil. It says questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. And that's exactly what's happening here. It's something that you know already, that it's throwing you off balance. It's throwing you off that the intuition that you generally have, and the powers that you generally have, the abilities, and you know that. But it's time to reconsider anything that is throwing you off at this point, because you need to get more back in line with your purpose. And then let's see, we can read a little bit more into the Messenger card. It's 92 and maybe 86, 92 and 86. Okay, so for the Messenger card, it says, okay, so it says, you're part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated their lifetimes to the upliftment of the planet, to returning time and again to see the light. So you are one of the people that keep choosing to reincarnate. You have a greater purpose here. See, that's why you're being pushed so much, because you have a great purpose here. You probably have some master numbers in your numerology profile, in your core numbers, my pile twos. So the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honor both the sacred feminine and masculine, to usher deep reverence back in. Many have ascended masters, are thought to be connected to the energy of Sirius, often appearing as a shade of blue. They hold the frequency of pure love and are here to help the masculine and feminine exist in harmony. They are here to ensure great balance, to help us see that we're all connected and that the masculine and feminine energies exist within us all. So you're being called to bring about the balance and harmony between these, to be a garden of harmony. I'm sorry, a garden, to be a guardian of harmony and balance on Earth. Think of the whales traveling around the globe, sharing love through their healing vibrational song. So it's all about bringing in the balance. Like you have a greater purpose with helping everyone, pile two. But before you can fulfill that purpose, you've got to get back within yourself aligned, that feminine and masculine. So lifting the veil says, things aren't always what they seem. This era is one of uncovering myths, truths, so we can remember ancient truths. Everything is in a state of recall and realignment. Anything that isn't harmony with the planet will not survive. So much harmony stuff here, right? This goes for society and the world at large. So some starseeds are here to lift the veil between the seen and unseen worlds, to shine a light on things that are inauthentic or unaligned with the survival and well-beings of Earth. Here to stand and protect those who don't have a voice, to look deeper and question everything that the previous generations did not. Some starseeds cannot tolerate things that aren't congruent. They're here to bring society and humanity back into harmony with the planet and the creator at large. If we tolerate things in our life that aren't aligned and congruent with it, we add to the misalignment of the planet. So we're getting so much here that you clearly have abilities of some sort, and you are one of the people that chooses to keep coming back to and reincarnating, and to help the planet as a whole. You're being called to trust yourself, notice what's out of alignment, and then take the baby steps required to bring it back into harmony. This is no easy feat, but it's so worthwhile, both individually and for the planet. So you're being asked to see what isn't congruent in your life. Pile two, how are you being called to bring harmony? And I really encourage you, pile two, to get a numerology profile, because I feel like that's going to be your, I don't know, I want to say kind of like a catalyst to kind of snap you. And if you haven't already, you might have already had one, but if you don't have a numerology profile, you can definitely look into one. There are free ones online. I also am able to do the profiles. If you're interested, just send me a message and I can do one for you. Okay, and so let's move towards the gems that we had. So pile two was for Tanzanite, which is transmutation, illumination, and psychic. It connects you to the spiritual realm and beyond. It's assists in living with more awareness and bringing spirituality into your day-to-day. So it helps navigate your journey. It unveils your true path. Look at that, lifting the veil and then unveils your true path. I mean, if you didn't have goosebumps already, you should now. Pile two. This is so for you. It transmutes the old into the new and acknowledges the road is ever winding. Your journey is consistent flow. Trust your path. Since Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Jupiter for the planet. And then we also have a Athenian Opal. It's beautiful. It's rebirth, portal, and desire. Okay, so this is interesting. So reflecting the beautiful parts of your soul, this opal is a crystal filled with bright flashes of color and revitalizing energy. Full of joy, the opal is a high vibration stone, able to soothe the soul and bring harmony to mind, body, and spirit. So containing a soul holograph, this opal gives access to different timelines in your path from the past, present, and future. Give all parts of yourself the love that you desire. Yeah, so you're being reminded to get back to aligning yourself in some way. And again, if you want a numerology profile, I encourage you to get one. If there are ways to get it online if you want to, or I can do one for you. But I definitely think you've got some master numbers, and I feel like this is just you're being called, and you're being called to respond to help humanity as a whole, the planet. This is also for Virgo, Sagittarius, and Mercury. They're beautiful. Okay, so I think that is going to be it for pile 2. Again, let me know if you have any questions or anything. I'm going to move over to my pile 3. If you did get pulled towards a different pile, like I said before, that's possible. You can also watch the video for that pile. Now we're going to move to pile 3. And so thank you so much, my pile 2s. Bye. Okay, hello. This is for my pile 3 group. How are you doing? Okay, we're gonna get right into it here. We're gonna start with the Rider-Waite Smith, and then we'll move to the Crowley deck, the Thoth Tarot. We're gonna pull some Oracle cards and then do our gems here. So, super excited to see what's going on with pile 3. Okay. Well, okay. You're probably a very powerful manifester here. The first card being the Magician, that's something. Okay, and then the Sun in reverse. Okay, this is gonna be pretty big stuff here. We're getting into 3 major Arcana cards here. Okay, pile 3, got some serious stuff going. Yeah, okay, and this is gonna be big for you, pile 3. Whatever changes that you have coming on here when we put this together, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be a big deal. Okay, so let's just start with what we have right now. So you're very much a powerful manifester. I feel like you've probably manifested a lot of material wealth, success, things like that, or is what you're focusing on doing right now. You might have been in a situation where you're feeling like it's not giving you the happiness and fulfilling as much as you thought it was going to, pile 3. And you're definitely making some serious moves. You're being strategic, but I think you're being asked to really go within for clarity and see what it is, why you're feeling like some kind of delayed gratification, some lack of motivation. It's kind of a lot of what readings I've been seeing lately. It's a lot of people feeling just like the sparks kind of diluted, and definitely has something to do with one of the planets right now and the season that we're in. But it's gonna get better. It might get a little worse before it gets better, but it will get better. I don't want you to feel hopeless here. Okay, and then we have the 4 of Wands in reverse. I feel like this might be towards a relationship, because this is usually something like it could be moving away from home. It could be adding things to the home. It could be a separation of some sort. It could be an argument. Something happened or is happening for you that's kind of made you lose your sense of balance, pile 3. Okay. Okay, so I feel like if there was an argument or something that happened within, you know, somebody close to you, within your core, you know, soul group, that you are going to be able to repair and communicate and get past whatever it was and be back into a nostalgic, homecoming, happy feeling. So I feel like this is moving out and into here. So this would be nostalgia, family, home, love, relationships here. Okay, yeah. And so I feel like here, this is huge with all the the four major arcana here. It's kind of so I feel like whatever has happened recently, pile three, it's gonna repair itself. But it might take a you offering something to the person, and I feel like maybe it's something that you've already considered doing. I feel like you might have recently felt like you want to repair this relationship, or you want to go back and kind of go over, see where you left off, maybe even just thinking of reaching out. And I feel like you're gonna have more direction, and I'm seeing a more personal quest for your truths here by going back and repairing whatever this is. Now, like I said, it could be like something, it could be you know, leaving home. It could be, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe you were thrown out of somewhere. I don't know. I don't judge, but I'm just saying, like, something, whatever happened that kind of threw you off your foundation, off of, you know, where you had your security the most. It's going to be repaired, but I feel like you're going to have to offer some sort of communication. You might have been really good at manifesting money, pile three, and you're in a position now where you'll be able to help somebody because it's needed or necessary. Maybe in the past you weren't able to do certain things, but now you've gotten more secure with yourself and kind of built some sort of maybe opportunity saving new job, something. This could also be that once you repair this relationship, you will have opportunities to make more money. I feel like this is going to be, this is a big deal because I feel like it's somebody in your soul group. I feel like it's a relationship that needs to be mended because it's part of your purpose. And I feel like you've definitely felt the need to reach out and repair. You've just kind of been putting it off. I feel like maybe you think, you know, maybe they're not going to forgive me, or they just want to argue, or maybe you're still hurt about some things. But I feel like if you really go within and think about the whole situation with your hermiting here, I feel like you'll be able to figure out whatever it is that you need to say, do, and then this will give you more opportunities. And like I said, if you're feeling a sense of being kind of stagnant and seeing not as much happiness as you thought you were going to have after all the things you created, I feel like this here is showing you how you can get out of that rut, how you can move and get away from this lower polarity feeling of being kind of, I don't know, unstable, unhappy. So now we're going to look at the Crowley deck here. Let's see what it has to say for you, my pile threes. Okay. So we have, okay, that's interesting. The Hermit in reverse, the Prince of Discs, and the Three of Cups. So, okay. So I feel like with seeing the Hermit in reverse that you have definitely been ignoring some of your, maybe like your intuition, your guides, or the messages that you've been receiving, and that is trying to guide you. I feel like maybe it is something that you've been putting off. And again, I don't know if it has to do necessarily with family, but some sort of relationship that it's somebody that is in your soul group that it needs to be better, right? So I think here the Prince of Discs, this is the Knight of Pentacles here. I feel like we're seeing some issues as far as it comes to like staying grounded and centered, because you still have that feeling of abandonment or insecurity. And then the Three of Cups is about, you know, it's also abundance, but it's not just abundance on the material level. It's abundance of your feelings and emotions. And I feel like if you're definitely in this state where you're not happy and manifesting the things that you were, or you're seeing like delayed gratification, this is where your guides are pointing you to like what path to go down. So I'm going to look at my notes here for the Crowley deck. What I also think is interesting here is the Hermit is related to the Three of Cups. I don't know if you know anything about Greek mythology, but they are tied together, so it's interesting they're showing up here. And then also we have the Hermit in the higher polarity, but also in the lower. I feel like your guides are telling you this is something that you can get out of, but on your current path right now, you're not paying attention to the signs that they're putting in front of you. And so it's kind of what is throwing you off the most here. So the Hermit reversed in the lower polarity, I feel like you've isolated yourself a lot here, over isolated yourself. And I think it's from, again, I'm seeing some sort of relationship that needs to be mended here. So I don't know, maybe you feel like you've been ignoring people. You feel a little like you're being self-absorbed in some sense, like you were so focused on yourself and getting things moving that you're forgetting about certain people. And I definitely think you'll be able to relate to this, because I think you know exactly who I'm referring to. But you're not being in touch with your inner guide. You're not focusing on the things that your spirit team wants you to focus on. So this could also, I feel like it could be like if you're trying to manifest a relationship here, and it's, what you're noticing is that it's not going in the direction that you want, and it's caused some issues with whatever it is you have created, but you're being reminded to go back to your inner child here too, because you might be manifesting the lack of whatever it is. And this could be like meeting somebody at a job. It could be, you know, a change, moving something. But that's for the Hermit reverse. It could refer to that kind of relationship. Like if you're trying to magician manifest something and you haven't seen the results that you want, and it's moving to a place where you're trying to go with them for clarity, but you're having like disagreements and still creating past things that are emphasizing the lack of something. And if you go back to your nostalgia, your inner child, you will see the signs of creation and a new path, not only for, you know, your emotions, but for you physically, in the earthly realm. And so in the Prince of Discs, which would be the the Knight of Pentacles, this relates to events that are unfolding, and it's kind of like you put yourself into a slow cultivation here. So it's like you're not seeing the results that you want, but it's from your own design, and it might not be willing, like you might not realize that you're doing it. So it could be like you're focusing so much on the results that you're not enjoying the ride, right? You're thinking so much about the destination that you're not focusing on the journey to said destination. And you're being reminded here that if you do that, because you're a very powerful manifester, that you can have that abundance, that happy emotion, the clarity, the love, everything. So I feel here like I feel like it's a really good time for you to communicate and tear down some of the maybe separations or things that you've manifested or relationships that you've damaged. I think it's time for you to kind of move out of that, you know, that negative space, because that is what you're focusing on right now. I also feel like you're being reminded to not just think about, you know, the physical, but also, you know, again, the emotional and the spiritual connections. And like I said, I feel like you know this already. Honestly, I feel like you know this already. You've been thinking about this already, because either you're trying to manifest a relationship with somebody, or you're trying to thinking of repairing one. So one or the other here, for sure, or both. It's possible. So let's see what your the oracle cards say for your guides, what they want you to know. Anything else that pile three's guides want them to know? Okay, this is interesting. So we have the golden children, which is related to your inner child. Again, so tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. So, again, I think that you are a very powerful manifester. Maybe you have some sort of abilities here that I'm seeing. Um, but you're being asked to go back and look at that inner child, because your inner child is always going to not be necessarily focused on the material things. They're more innocent, creative, more positive, just honest. And I feel like that's what you're being asked to do here because of what you're trying to manifest. Or, well, it's always going to be what you're trying to manifest, but it's also like how it relates to where you want to be. And then we also have deep cellular healing, and it's Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So again, I think you're manifesting some things that you're not very comfortable with, but it's because, and it's not intentional, but your guides are saying, hey, look, you're creating these things. We want to see you out of that rut. And the only way to do that is to really focus on healing and getting back to that innocence and that more patient, loving, it's a self-love kind of thing, but it's also for other people, communicating and trying to be compassionate with yourself as well, honestly. Okay, so let's see what the golden children has to say. And we have page 70 and 54. So for the golden children, you can see that there. Okay, so for the golden children, it says children of the sun. How interesting. We have the sun up here. Highly advanced, extremely intelligent souls who are incarnating increasingly on earth. They have little or no personal karma and possess incredible gifts and intuitive abilities. Again, this is why the magician is showing up for you, Pile 3. You've got some amazing abilities to create, but you have to remember to create in a positive aspect, not on what you want and the lack of something, okay? So your golden children are born with a very clear mission. Many remember it from a young age and begin answering and sharing it early in life. So that's why you're being asked to go back to your inner child here. It's something that you understood at a very young age, and that is what is going to fuel you and move you. And it's so easy as we become adults to move away from these thoughts and these feelings and these callings that we have, but we are always going to be our inner beings are always going to push us to get back to that. And that's what you're being reminded here, Pile 3. So due to their unique intelligence, they might find themselves easily bored. Most have never incarnated on Earth, so if they're not supported in the right way, they struggle with physical life here. They're often referred to as the new humans. If you pulled this card, it may be a sign that you're being called to mother, father, or nurture a child. You may be called to tend to your own inner child, a creative idea or project, or a new beginning. To treat yourself, or the new beginning with sweet, tender love to nurture and nourish it, to give it every chance to grow and reach adulthood. Encourage it, water it, see the world through the innocence of a child, to see yourself and all others as innocent children. So it's not just about you, it's about other people as well. So remember, deep down, everyone is trying their best and having a hard time, and if they're treated with a tender heart, they'll not harden as they journey through this great adventure called life. So you're being asked to think about how can you treat yourself or others tenderly, more tenderly. So I encourage you in your day-to-day relationships with other people to consider that. Maybe before, if you have something like you're in customer service or you have something where you have to interact with people a lot, I would encourage you before you do anything to think about how you could address that person, even if they're being a little off. You know, some people can be, I mean, customer service jobs are so hard, but they really help you, honestly, because you start to understand how people are and how usually they're not mad at you. They're mad about whatever it is where you're working, the things going on there. So let's see, page 56. So deep cellular healing, your body knows how to heal. It's in your natural state. And so it also says you may be called to switch things up with your body or emotional well-being, to call in a team of helpers to support you in navigating any challenges you may be experiencing emotionally. So that's what I think what's happening here. Because you're so powerful and you have these abilities, you're being reminded that you have the tools necessary to get into that better state of mind and manifest the things you want. And you can call on your guides here, your spiritual team, to assist you in this healing so that you can actually create and manifest the things that you want, pile 3. And it says, place the card on the portal of your heart and tell yourself the following. You can whisper this. I take back my vitality and energy and feel more and more healthy in each and every day. My body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. So you might feel like you're kind of spiraling out and you don't have the tools necessary to do these things, but you really do, pile 2. And you're being reminded you can call on help. Sometimes we need help. And instead of getting discouraged and upset, we can just say, I need help. And that's okay. And you're being reminded that. I feel like a lot of people feel like everything is on their shoulders and they definitely have to do everything on their own and they can't ask for help. No, you can ask for help. Okay. And then we have the gems. We have labradorite, which is about transformation, magic, and imagination. So again, this is just more confirmation that you're being asked to look at your inner child, your imagination, and really think about and visualize with that creativity that you have the things that you want, so you're not focusing on the lack. You're daydreaming in a sense, but that's going to help you manifest what you want. Okay, and then this is for, it says Leo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and then you have the I don't know how to say this, rhodochrosite. I'm not sure here. Okay, and this is about relationships, healing, and karmic lessons. So I feel like you're being called to repair some things, pile 3, because it's a part of your karmic and your purpose, your karmic relationships. Like we all come here with certain people to repair certain relationship from past lives, and this could be a situation in which we're picking up here. So this is for Leo, Scorpio, and the planet Mars. So it opens the heart for healthy communication and breaks through. It can attract soulmates into your life, building connections that often feel karmic or fated. Fated, not faded. Every lesson is for your highest good, and with that perspective, know that whatever is happening for you, not to you. This encourages you to express your feelings and reinforce that it's safe to share who you truly are. I kind of have chills right now, pile 3, because I feel like this is important for whatever situation. I'm getting pulled in a lot of directions here, but I think it relates to so many things, because it's not just your relationships that need to be repaired. It could also be a new relationship that you're trying to manifest, and it could also be how you're trying to manifest things and be more independent. So okay, I hope you enjoyed your reading. We're going to move on to pile 4 now. Remember, if you were called to a different pile, go back and check those readings out too. That's normal. Sometimes that happens. At one point I was drawn to 3 piles on another tarot channel, so it happens. So stick around for that if you were interested in pile 4, and I'm going to move on. Thank you so much. Here. Hello, my pile 4s. Okay, we're going to start first with the Rider Wyatt, and then we're going to move on to the Thoth deck. Going to pull a couple Oracle cards, and then we'll go over the gems that probably drew you to this pile. So, something bit me, burning all day. Okay, so let's see, what here do you have going on? What big changes? What do you need to focus on? What are your guides trying to tell you, pile 4? Okay, we got some freedoms coming in. Conventionality. Some sort of dependence coming to light. Heartbreak. Getting away from heartbreak. Queen of Swords. Self-sufficient and a relationship. So this is really interesting here, pile 4. So I think this is really interesting. So you definitely have some sort of freedom that is being offered to you, pile 4. I feel like there's maybe been some methods of conventionality, some sort of practices that you've been doing habitually that are going to help you get this freedom in a time where we can sometimes overanalyze things to death, and we can be our own worst enemies. And I feel like your guides are trying to remind you that if you stick to what is traditional right now and what normally works for you, it's going to give you the freedom that you've been seeking, or the dependence. And I feel here with the Page of Cups in reverse, I feel like it's some sort of dependence because of that. This would be like somebody that's a little immature. There's some sort of dependence there, something that they're seeking, spending a lot of time on, and it's to kind of mask the emotions that we have. And then with the Star, this is about bringing things to light. It's also about the spotlight. It can be having some renewal, new hope, things like that. And then we also have the Three of Swords in reverse, which to me is like recovery. So I don't want to get too pushy, but I feel like this might be about some sort of dependence, and that you're gonna get the opportunity to be free of whatever this is. And what's going to work best for you, pile 4, is the tradition, the conventional things that you would normally go to, and what people would do in your situation. And I feel like it's going to move you from out of that and bring certain things to light, give you some new clarity, some new hope, and recovery, because it's so needed for you right now. And then the Queen of Swords is about being self-sufficient. It's about being able to be independent and take care of things the best possible way. But it's gonna in that, when you get to this Queen of Swords state, you will be able to manifest lasting partnerships and relationships, and mend some things possibly. I feel like with the Two of Cups here, it could be that you're seeking a relationship, but there's things that you need to work on, and your guides are telling you that you have access to this, you have something lined up for you, but this is what needs to happen for this to happen, right? The relationship, the repairing the partnership kind of thing. So let's see. I also feel like this could be something related to keeping you out of the loop. You might have some insecurities here with what is the best move to make and how to move forward. I feel like you're really trying to get a hold of something and you're overthinking it. You're over analyzing it. You're kind of your own detriment right now, because it's like you're creating your own self-sabotage. I feel like in order to move out of this, we've got to bring some stuff to light. We got to be honest, go within for clarity, but understand that there is a recovery here, and in that recovery, you will find these things that you want, which is being independent, self-sufficient, and then creating long-lasting relationships. So let's see what the Thoth deck says here. So, okay, we have the Eight of Swords, the Princess of Swords, and the Devil in reverse. I'm gonna move these up right here. Okay, so this is interesting to me. I feel like the Eight of this kind of goes with what I was saying before about kind of either you're focusing on things that are kind of small, they don't really matter, and you're skipping out on the things that are important to you. I feel like you're kind of feeling scattered, you feel all over the place, you're not sure what to do, you feel like insecure. And it's your guides want you to know this is your doing, in a sense, and that happens. That's okay. We can do that. People get like that. Sometimes the answer is right in front of us, but we don't want to see it, or we're focusing on so many other things that we don't see it, and you're being reminded that it's there. You have the answer. You just need to really take a step back and focus your priorities. Now, the Princess of Swords is this would be the Page of Swords here. This is about inner truths. The Princess of Swords is going to be about inner truths and facing things. I think it's so important right now for you, Pile 4, to get a new perspective on things. I feel like if you take a break, if you're working on something right now, some sort of project, and you're just feeling like, you know, you don't know what's going on, what do you want? I think if you take a break and take a step back, it'll help you move forward, Pile 4. But then the Princess of Swords is somebody that's really clever. So to me, it's saying that you have these abilities to really grasp things quickly. You analyze things well. You're skilled in these things. Like you're intelligent, you're wise, but you have the necessary tools to get away from this Eight of Swords, and that would be, oh, you're overdoing it. You're overstimulating. So I think the Princess of Swords is kind of, again, it's like you're fighting battles within you and in your environment. And in order to get past that, it's time to take a step back and really look at what it is that you want and get rid of the things that aren't serving you anymore. So I think you got to get your ideas grounded. I think that's going to be the best thing for you if you take a step back, and it's going to give you some renewal, a lot of optimism, and feeling like you're actually doing something. Maybe you've been feeling like you're missing out on things, or things aren't coming to you as clearly as they normally do, but you can get back there where you want to be, Pile 4. And then the Devil in reverse, I feel like you feel a little imprisoned here. Honestly, with the Eight of Swords in reverse here, and then you've also got the Eight of Swords upright. So it's like, again, this is what your guides are telling you. You have the ability to get away from this and out of these, you know, binds, these this imprisonment here. But it's within you, and at first it's going to take the absence of whatever it is that we're being dependent on and trying to accept the traditional methods that we normally do. You might have addictions or attachments that you're focusing on that you already know that you probably should be letting go, but you're still doing the same thing and it's not working for you. I also feel like it's one of those things where we have to be positive during these times, right? So I think sometimes we get in this habit of manifesting things that we don't want because we're just focusing on the prison that we feel like we've put ourselves in, and instead of taking a step back and being grateful for what we do have, we keep saying, I don't have this. I don't have a relationship. I don't have money. I don't have a new car. My house isn't as good as my friends. Whatever, things like that. Instead of saying, oh my God, I have the best bed in the world. My sheets are amazing. I love this hot shower. My shampoo smells so great. Little things like that, taking inventory of the things that we can be grateful for, will really put us in a new perspective and help us look at things in a different light. And I feel like that's all you need to be reminded right now, Pile 4. Like, everything out of here seems like you're going to have big things happen for you, a lot of changes, and it's going to take some work. But I feel like it's going to really change up your normal day-to-day, and you're going to see some improvements and finally get aligned back to what you're meant to be. So I feel like you have the capability of getting back in that balance between your material and your spiritual side. This could also be you have this desire to create a better relationship. And I think that once you get a little bit more self-sufficient, you will be able to create that. You might be a little bit dependent on another person. And I feel like you might be reminded here that you know, maybe you need to take a step back and see what's not working for you in the relationship in order to get to a better partnership or a new one. I think here also as well, this is just asking you again to take inventory of the things that you do want. You might be overanalyzing things into a sense so much that you're creating, again, the lack and making things worse for yourself. So maybe this is reminding you to take a look at the relationship and think about what you enjoy about it. Or if you're trying to manifest one, again, focus on the things that you do want, not what you don't. Let's pull some Starseed Oracle cards. So what do your guides want you to know? Pile 4, anything additional that Pile 4's guides want them to know? What do you need from them? What do you need? Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so we have perspective, and it says, none of this matters. Zoom out, find common ground. And that's interesting. So again, we're coming back to this this Eight of Swords here. You need to zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture, because that is where you're going to see, take a step back and look at everything, and you're going to see what it is that you no longer are aligned with and what you need to let go and remove that dependence. Okay, that's funny. So it's about finding common ground, not only with another person but within yourself, so you're not so much over analyzing the things that really don't need it. And I feel like that's what you're doing here. Instead of just focusing on, you know, one thing at a time, you're allowing things to stack, and you're missing other things that are more important, and they might be like right in front of your face. You just don't see them, and you're being reminded to take a step back and, you know, see what's going on. And then we also have Earth, and this says learning how to be human in the world but not of it. It's interesting. So I feel like here it's kind of one of those things where you need to detach yourself a little bit, and in order to do that, it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to help you in so many ways. We have to be a part of the earth, but we have to also find the balance of our spirituality and align with our inner being, and that will give us the most in this life, right? That's more and more important than materialistic things. Sometimes it's just really easy to get wrapped out in the physical, you know. It's just so easy. We're not reminded enough to take a break and really look at things and repair and relax and focus, because we're always having to move, you know, it's never stopping. So I'm gonna see what else Earth says. I think we pretty much understand the perspective one. Let's see what else is on here. 62. So it says, the challenge for all souls having a human experience is to be in the world but not of it. To realize they are souls having a human experience and be fully conscious of it, to have their soul fully embodied in their body. That's silly wording right there. Okay, it says people's personalities tend to relate to either transcendence or immanence. Those who can lead towards transcendence have a longing for the heavens and the metaphysical. They yearn for a personal experience with God and to be lost in the heavens. They're envious of their angels and are more comfortable praying and hanging out in the stars than on earth. Okay. And so those who tend towards immanence have attached themselves more to earth and their body. They spend more time thinking about things in the physical world rather than connecting with the heavens or their own mystical inner world. Being a fully embodied soul, having a human experience, means finding the balance between the transcendent and immanent, being in the world but not of it. So I feel like here your guides want you to consider to yourself, like ask yourself, do you tend to long for the stars, or are you more longing for the physical things of the flesh, right? Like money, cars, sex, anything. So how can you find greater balance between these two things? Consider that. Okay, let's see what the gems that you picked, see what they have to say. Okay. So for your gems, we have the first one, which was for pile 4, Big Spite, and this is about timing, action, and change. That's interesting. So timing is everything, and with Big Spite, that couldn't be truer. It has an impeccable knack for the right timing and can encourage you to try new things, pursue an opportunity, or change anything that needs an update. This opens the connection between your base chakra and your heart and infuses you with unconditional love for yourself and others. It encourages your energy, expresses action, movement, and progression to move toward true alignment between you and your soul. Update what's outdated with joy and recharge your life. So that's interesting, because I feel like that's what we're seeing a lot here. It's a lot of reconsidering taking a step back and reconsidering again what does not serve you anymore, pile 4. And I feel like you know what that is. I feel like you are already considering, you know, what it is. It's just taking a moment out of your day to really reflect. And I know, as you know, as a human, I feel like right when I lay down to sleep, all the things start coming in and creeping in, and then I don't fall asleep like I should, and that just kind of throws me off. So again, it's like taking time during the day to reflect, and then trying to release and let go and actually get some real sleep. I don't know, I'm getting like the sleep thing a lot for you, pile 4, for some reason. And then, oh, also this is for Aries, Taurus, and the moon, big spike. And then so we also have Sunstone. This is about leadership, confidence, and freedom. Freedom. Yep. So the freedom that you're seeking, pile 4, is within you, because it's the things that you've kind of imprisoned yourself in a bit. And the first step is being honest about that. You know, we all tend to do this. It's not uncommon. Everybody gets caught up. Everybody. So this sunstone shines bright. It's ignites willpower underneath the sun's rays. It's the stone of leadership. It gives you the courage to step out on your own and dare to make a difference. So I feel like the dependence here could be, you know, some sort of addiction, but it could also be like an emotional dependence. And this is encourage you to step out and get away from that a little bit, finding yourself in your own self-sufficiency. So let's see, radiating warmth and vitality. This brings confidence to the beholder and is known to bring good luck. Fortuitous in nature, Sunstone brings out your natural talent, allowing you to shine like a star you are. Sunstone helps fulfill karmic contracts, alleviating pressure around a sense of purpose or fulfillment. Abundance will flow once you nurture your gifts. And this is Leo, Libra, and the Sun. Very interesting here. I think this is great. I feel like, again, this is just kind of one of those things. It's like you're being asked to take this step in order to see the necessary changes and the things that you want, pile 4. So let me know if you like the reading. And again, if you were drawn to any other pile, go check it out. I will have the timestamps below. And I'm going to move on right now, and I'll be back in a minute with the outro. Bye. Alright guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know how you felt in the comments below. I'm going to be working on some more pick a card, but also just simple question videos. So if you have anything that you'd like me to ask or do a reading on, send me a message on social media or let me know here. And again, thank you so much for watching. We use the Starseed Oracle. I'm sorry, that was so loud. The Crystal Grid deck from Mystic Monday. I think I like always use these. But also the Crowley Thoth deck and the Holographic Rider Wyatt. So if you're interested in anything, a personal reading or a numerology or natal chart, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.